For yielding, Dr. Dunn, you're recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I would like to address my comments to Mr. Speckler and Mr. McClanahan. I think we're all concerned about the delays in we're almost waiting for veterans to die through these VA appeals processes. Is it actually the process, the legal structure of the process that's causing these incredible delays in handling those appeals? Extreme delays? Is it the laws, the way they're written? Is that what I understood you to say?
Yes, it is. I mean, that's the primary reason. I mean, the system that is in place today basically provides sort of continuous evidence submission. For example, at the Board of Veterans Appeals, in most instances, the board is not really acting as an appellate agency reviewing and adjudicating.
Do I understand, because we're all on the clock here, do I understand then there's basically no end to the appeal? The appeal goes on and on and on.
There's no end, plus the record can be drastically changed from the time that the original rating decision in VBA.
The medical record could change.
Yeah, the medical evidence of record could be completely different. It could be, and so it just allows for this endless churning and endless re-adjudication.
Okay, so let's change our because part of us, I think all of us have this gestalt that the pace of work at the VA is slow. I mean, I'm a surgeon. I've worked at some of the VA hospitals in my residency programs, and it was pretty common to have 4 patients in the morning, 4 in the afternoon. Now, there isn't a private medical practice in the country that could survive on that pace. I mean, what is and is that the pace throughout the VA, by the way? That's the first question. Is that the pace of production throughout the VA?
Well, I would say no. At the Board of Veterans Appeals, we have rigorous productivity standards for our attorneys and judges, and I mean, I would say it's a fairly fast-paced.
So what's the explanation for that? I mean, honestly, we just have a hard time understanding how so many people can produce so little product over such a vast period of time.
I'm sorry,
the VA, the product, the clinics, they're seeing patients, and they're actually not seeing that many patients, and they're taking a great deal of time to do that.
I'm sorry, I can't speak to what happens in the medical centers.
But they're the ones generating the medical evidence that you just spoke about, right? I mean, they go see a doctor and the medical evidence changed. You said there's new findings, medical findings of the patients.
Right. So the point is that when we initially process a claim, yes, we send either to a contractor or to a VHA examiner to get a medical examination, and that's used in adjudicating the claim. We do that now in roughly 125 days, decide the claim. Dave's point is, by the time it gets to the board, 6 years later, the disability picture has changed. As I'm sure you know, it can change drastically by that point. So they may need to remand it back to VBA to go get another examination. We then re-adjudicate the claim. The appeal process may start over. And again, it may get to the board 3 years later, and again, the disability picture has changed, or there's some other medical evidence that might be necessary. Dave's right, we can't speak to timeliness of or how productive doctors are in doing treatment, but as far as the medical examinations that we get them very timely. It's just a matter of the disability changing over time in a slow process.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back my time.